So I just did a book talk for Native Son, but I'm a couple books behind, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do one for the collector really fast also. Um, this is John, this is by John Fowles. This, I guess, is like the hailed as the first modern psychological thriller. Yeah, I thought it was really good. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. I talked a little bit in my wrap up about why I didn't love it. I do want to say that this was recommended to me by Claire from the Book Fox for my BookTube Recommends project, and it was also the February pick for Insane in the Membrane Club. And yeah, so that was nice that I got to read this book, but it just was lacking, and I feel bad because I feel like it was lacking in my enjoyment, not because of the book, but because of my knowledge and my experience. So I am obsessed, not obsessed. I used to be obsessed. Like, I love horror movies, specifically. I've never really read much horror fiction, but I used to love like horror movies. I love slashers. I love psychological thrillers. I love, ghosty type ones. I like dark things. Like, I just like dark things. It's weird. Probably, I think it has to do with like my constant curiosity about things that I don't understand. So, like, I'm really interested in serial killers and such because I just physically cannot understand how a person could like want to do these things and like be okay with it. So it fascinates me. And I thought this book was going to be like very disturbing and messed up, and it just wasn't that disturbing. I think that's what the problem was, is that I was expecting something that it didn't fulfill because my like tolerance is so high. Like, my tolerance is super high. I don't know what even could, like, I can't watch The Human Centipede. Like, I don't know. I just feel like I have a very high tolerance. So this book was kind of not like super exciting for me for that reason. So I feel really bad because it's not his fault, and it was really, really well written. Like, I liked the book. It just like I felt disappointed because it fell short of my expectations. It was super well written. I really enjoyed both the main characters. This is a story of a man who kidnaps a woman, basically, because he's obsessed with her, in case you couldn't tell. And also, I feel like everyone knows what this book is about. But yes, I really, really, really enjoyed both of the main characters. I think that they were both terrible people. So that's why it like reminds me, it reminds me a lot of like multiple things. It reminds me of Gone Girl because both the characters, I think, are unlikable. It reminds me of You because the guy's like obsessed with this woman and like kidnaps her. Does he kidnap her and You? It's, some kind of obsession thing. He reminds me of Norman Bates from Psycho because he's like got weird things about sexualness. And I don't know, it just reminds me a lot of different things that have happened since. I mean, Psycho, I think, probably happened before this book, but You and Gone Girl definitely happened way after this book, so it's not the book's fault. I just like read it too late. I should have, if I read this in high school, I would have been all over it. I would have given it a 5 out of 5 stars. I would have loved it if I read it in high school. But yeah, I'm just too old now. Things aren't as exciting for me. I also have this problem. So when I was like watching a lot of horror movies, I used to get really irritated because I would watch a lot of slasher flicks, and at the slasher flicks at the very end, there was like always the surviving girl, and that used to annoy me. And then I got like into this phase where I loved the horror movies where everyone dies, or like the bad guy wins at the end, or there's like the zombie apocalypse, but then one guy lives and then he gets shot by the cops, and like all of those movies where everything you think is fine, and then at the very end, like whoever the survivor is gets killed. Like, I used to go wild over that stuff. So the problem is that I OD'd on both types of endings, so now I can't be happy with anything. I don't really want to give away what the ending of this book is, but basically I'm not happy with the happy ending, and I'm not happy with the everyone dies at the end ending either, because I've OD'd on both of them. So now I don't really know where to go in my experience. I think in a book, it's more upsetting too than in a movie. Like, in a movie, you put a lot less time and energy into it. So if it's a disappointing end, then you're like, oh, whatever. But with a book, especially a book that you really hoped that you would love, it's just just a little frustrating. So totally not the book's fault. I just didn't love it. I would recommend it though, especially if you're like if you're younger or haven't experienced a lot of psychological thrillers and like want to get into it because it was a really good read. It was. Yeah. So, anyways, thank you, Claire, for recommending this book to me. I did really, really want to read it, and I'm very, very happy that I did. I hope everyone's having a great day.